Hey, Mom.
Oh, good morning.
We are in the side-by-side. We're heading to some nearby neighbors because, where are we going?
We are going to go see a brand new baby calf.
That's right, Ron and Linda.
Yep.
All right, let's go for it.
Bye.
Wendy's staying behind.
Said to make sure you don't drive too fast.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I'll drive nice and slow until we're out of where she can see us.
You better not play that back.
No, we're not going to drive too fast. Our side-by-side has no front windshield, so if we go too fast, there'll be too much wind, and your hat will blow off. Maybe I'm driving too fast. I think this is the north driveway. Everyone asked us to go up, so we'll see. Oh, we'll come right on there. Okay.
At the gate.
Here we go. I think I'm gonna park in the shade. Hey, you got a shady spot for us.
Where's the door? There it is.
Hope you don't mind if I shoot a little video.
Oh.
All right. Hey, Ron, good to see you.
Get her upper. Good morning.
Morning.
I was up at 6 o'clock feeding them the first time, so we'll see what we can do now and
Okay.
see if we can get her and the calf out here.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You want this closed?
No,
Okay.
doesn't need to be. Rosie! Yes, she heard us talking, so she knows there's other people here. Come on, Rose. Come on.
Oh, look. I can take it.
Yeah, you can take a
Oh,
picture.
look
if you
at the
want.
little white face.
He's going to come around the outside.
What a cute little calf.
There we go. See that calf over there? That steer?
Oh my gosh.
That's the one you saw last year, or a year
Oh
and a
my
half ago.
gosh.
That was the baby about a year ago.
Yeah, a year and a half. May 5th, that one was born.
They get big fast.
Buddy to this one is a white face, red white face from the neighbor.
Oh, I like that little white face.
I think I'm going to name it Tippy.
I like that. Tippy.
See the little tongue, Mom?
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. Here, I'll back up a little.
Very protective.
Absolutely.
She's not mean, but she will just make sure that the baby's away.
I was surprised she let me get that close.
Yeah, you did good for a stranger. You have the move.
Just tried to be low to the ground and quiet and open hand.
Yeah, quiet is a big thing with Mama.
Well, thank you so much,
She
Ron.
recognizes a
Thank you so much.
stranger. You bet.
Yeah.
Glad you got to see it.
Yeah, so adorable.
Yeah, the little white fuzz in the ear, that was
Yeah.
pretty cute, and the little tongue.
So I'm gonna name her Tippy Rose.
I'll just probably call her Tippy.
Yeah. She doesn't need a middle name.
Nope. I understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, so we accept it.
Yeah.
We're talking about turning what was the baby cow last year and now is a big steer into hamburger.
Oh.
And Mom is a little
lots of
disappointed in that. Yeah.
I might have to be a vegetarian.
The daughter I'm picking up from the airport today is a vegetarian.
Is she?
Yeah,
It'll be nice to have some family out here.
yeah, it really will be.
Oh, hope we get to meet her.
Should, she's here.
If
for
she wants to
3
come
days.
over and see the goats again, she's absolutely welcome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've got a little bit of a breeze right now. I'm not going to let a little wind noise stop me from saying what I want to say today. I'm glad to have had a sequence with our neighbor Ron for this video, because what I want to address today is tangentially related to neighbors. I was wrong about a point in my recent video, Love the Sinner. I was speaking from the heart then, as I am now, so thank God only He has to be infallible. I think it's healthy to be willing to risk being wrong in public. I think it's also healthy to be humble enough to admit when you're wrong in public. If you haven't seen that first video, I'll link it to this one. In my Love the Sinner video, I suggested that we should reframe how we see other sinning people. We should see them as neighbors rather than sinners. I still think seeing other sinning people as neighbors is very wise. It's a wise way to start preparing ourselves in our own hearts before we confront sin in the world. I was wrong, however, to suggest that we shouldn't label someone else a sinner. Do you see the difference? We see them, we approach them, we love them like a neighbor, but we are also uncompromising with the truth that we speak to them. Speaking the truth, even if it offends someone, is a loving thing to do. Two very random things happened to me this week that convinced me to rethink how I spoke in that Love the Sinner video. I'm going to start with the second one because the first one is a little more amusing. Pastor Steve's message this Sunday was a continuation of the series Loving Like Jesus. How cool is it that I happened to just start going to this church right when he was doing this series? The specific topic this week was love does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. That's 1 Corinthians 13:6. Remember the word truth because I'm going to get back to it. It is starting to rain. I think somebody out there doesn't want me to finish this video. I'm going to get back to it as soon as I can. It's kind of funny. We needed a little rain. I prayed for a little rain yesterday. Okay, back to the message. I don't think Pastor Steve was actually speaking directly to me. He's going through 1 Corinthians 13 systematically, talking about all the different attributes of love. And this particular topic, not rejoicing at wrongdoing, but rejoicing in the truth, that was just the next thing on the list. Pastor Steve took us to Ephesians 5:11-13. Let me go ahead and read that. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. For it is shameful even to speak of those things which are done in them in secret. But all things that are exposed are made manifest by the light, for whatever makes manifest is light. That's a clear definition to expose wrongdoing, not just not rejoice in it. Pastor Steve further emphasized just how important it was to not rejoice in the sin of other people by citing several examples in the Bible of people who very passionately and personally interceded with God on behalf of not their sins, but the sins of other people. I'll mention just one of his examples because it's the most dramatic. In Exodus 32, Moses has just received the 10 Commandments written by God himself on Mount Sinai. And the Israelites are already worshiping a golden calf. Exodus 32 is a real page turner if you want to read it. Of course, Moses confronted the Israelites about it. Before Moses did that, he pleaded with God for God to forgive the Israelites. He, in fact, asked God to blot him, Moses, out of his book if he wouldn't forgive the Israelites. This may be a healthy model for us to follow if and when we are dramatically called to call out the sin of other sinners, reverently and fervently asking God for mercy may help us to confront the sin of other sinners with love as our genuine motivation. Romans 12:21 might be helpful here too. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Pastor Steve also took us to John 6:60-61 to illustrate how Jesus was not afraid of offending anybody else. He was going to tell them the truth. Therefore, many of his disciples, when they heard this, said, "This is a hard saying. Who can understand it?" When Jesus knew in himself that his disciples complained about this, he said to them, "Does this offend you? If, however, we want to have our conversation be effective, it really needs to be done with genuine love and from a place of genuine love." Now, you might be asking, must we really love? Isn't it isn't it probably enough to just be obedient to the truth? If we do it that way, we might be putting ourselves a little too closely to the position of the Pharisees. And you remember, they actually had a problem with Jesus healing somebody because he happened to do it on the Sabbath. Obedience to the letter of the law cannot trump the loving spirit that is the righteousness of the law. Righteousness of the law, said another way, is loving like Jesus. The other random thing that happened to me this week was reading this book, How to Hear God by Pete Greig. Let me back up a bit first. As I've been making these Bible videos, I've been especially attuned to coincidences that seem significant. They feel to me like the Holy Spirit telling me what to pay attention to. This week, the word truth kept coming up. I thought I was going to make a video about truth, but that's a little vague. It's just not specific enough. Was it going to be a truth about God's glory, or a truth about how sin separates us from God? Was it going to be the truth of how Jesus' sacrifice paid for our undeserved salvation? Or the truth that faith is the only way to obtain free of charge that gift? Was it going to be the truth that our souls were made for God's glory? Or was it the truth that the only truly satisfying, life-giving power that our souls can ever feel is God's glory? No, I was supposed to think about how something I had said might not have been quite as accurate as it should have been. Remember, I said that this random thing that happened to me this week was amusing. I was online looking into, what truth was it that I was supposed to be thinking about? And our internet went out. Without much else to do, I picked this book up and started reading. I was also waiting on hold. There's probably some irony there, to get through to customer support so our internet could be restored. I was on hold listening to that elevator music repeat over and over and over. It was probably an hour or two. It was just ridiculous. I was just reading the book, speakerphone going. It didn't matter how long I was on hold. I was just going to persevere. I did finally get through to a human being and gave them my name and our address and a good callback number if we got disconnected. My first question to them was if this was just us or was it a widespread phenomenon? Maybe a lot of people were calling in and that's why we had to wait so long on hold. Turns out it was just us. When it came time to do the technical diagnostics, my wife took over the call. They had her unplug things and plug them back in and say what lights were flashing and what color they were. In the end, they said they were going to escalate the issue. Now, there's probably some irony there too. We didn't have internet for the rest of the day. It did come back to us the next morning. The nice thing about this book is it points to this book. I got to page 85 and was stopped in my tracks. The author was talking about reading the Bible intuitively, letting a word or a phrase kind of jump out at you and just meditating on that for any kind of personal meaning rather than reading like a comprehensive reading of what a full sentence means. As an example, he used Romans 12:9. He felt it jumped out at him because it was so much stronger than the other verses around it, that it was maybe a little out of place because the tone was different from the rest of the verses around it. It is a command to hate what is evil. For Pete, hating what was evil was a call to be more passionate. For me, It was a dawning concern that what I had said in that last video might not have been as accurate as I thought it was. I read Romans 12:9 several times. Let me do that for you now. 12:9. Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor. Okay, my version's a little different from the one he was reading. I'll read it here. Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good. Avoiding hypocrisy is deliberately linked with confronting sin. We need to look in the mirror first, but hating what is evil is a clear and simple command. That got the ball rolling for me, but it wasn't until the next day, Sunday, sitting in church, watching Pastor Steve preaching apparently right at me, that I decided, I was convicted at that point, to make this my topic. To summarize, what I had emphasized in that first video was love the sinner and do not condemn them. Now what I'm saying is love the sinner in a genuine way, seeing them as a neighbor, fervently pray for mercy from God, then be uncompromising with the truth that you speak to them. Condemning is still God's job, not ours. Now this next part isn't in my notes. I was trying not to say this because I don't want our channel to be political with the abortion issue. It's perhaps very easy to consider loving the precious unborn spirit of the baby and thinking, well, that child cannot speak for himself, so I must. And that's true enough. But we also have to realize that we need to love the woman who wants to have the abortion. This book commands us to also love the doctor who's going to perform that abortion. We need to love the politicians who are trying to make it easier for people to have abortions. We need to love the husband or the father who might be pressuring a woman to have an abortion. You might be saying, Brian, this is a hard teaching. Who can understand this? Say it with me. Do I offend you? Thanks for watching. Remember, your dreams are closer than the moon. Thanks for taking this trip around the moon with us.